Hi, good morning everyone. This is CY once again. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to find out something that's very interesting because it has been on my mind that I want to do this comparison. And now I have nailed down the coffee beans which I want to use so that I will know the expected taste of the coffee. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do comparison between these two kind of filter paper, right? One is a V60, one is a cupcake style of filter paper. So, and the drippers I'm going to use will still be the CT62, which you have been seeing me using for quite some time. I think for the past 4 videos. So this is the CT62 with very low bypass, which means that the water tends not to flow through the side and bypass the coffee. And this is this totally different dripper, right? This is the origami dripper, which I'm going to use it with the Kalita cupcake style of filter paper. And the main difference between these two is this one will have bypass and this one will have no bypass. And this is a flat bottom one, right? Whereas the V60 is a V60 at an angle of 60 degrees, right? So let's get started with the comparison. This should be something interesting when we compare the taste. So to do this, we will start to prep the dripper that we're going to use. So for the CT62, we're going to use the V60, which is the usual style of folding the side, putting at the corner, pop right in, right? So that's the usual thing that we do. Excuse me. I'm going to rinse it with water shortly. The second one, which we're going to use a separate decanter. Okay, so this one can be placed already on top, and this is how it's going to be. So let me move over to my sink whereby I rinse the water to prepare the filter paper. Right, so normally what I will do is I will press the filter paper down so that I'll hold it with one hand so that it doesn't pop right out. And then I'm going to adjust my flow of water so that it's very it doesn't really destroy the arrangement of the bed, and I'm just going to let it flow and fill the side, and then to give it a swing so that using the water pressure to push the filter paper to the side of the wall, and then I'm going to drain out the remaining water, and that's it, and you have your very beautiful aligned filter paper. Right, so let's set this aside and then let's prepare our CT62, which is prepared in a very similar fashion. So same thing with one hand, but the V60 style has a rib here. So usually I tend to press down the rib because it's the harder area. And then same thing, start with the bottom and then swing. And then there you go. Simple, right? Alright, for the coffee bean that we are using today, we will still be using the coffee bean from Alishan Galaxy Coffee. I think I still have about half a bag left. Luckily, this bag comes with 250 grams of coffee beans. So same thing, we're going to use 18 grams of coffee. Right, and we're going to do a slightly higher ratio, which is 1:16.7 around there, which is technically 18 grams of coffee beans to about 300 grams of water. That's a little bit too much. Alright, that's 18 grams of coffee. Yep, and then we will grind. Same thing, I'm still going to use my DF64 Gen 1 with the SSP Cast version 2 inside. Alright. Okay, so let's get ready another 18 grams of coffee. I'm short of a dosing cup. Let me get another one. Alright, so this dosing cup I've not been using for quite a while. It's a gift from Thomas, my good friend. So it fits nicely, very heavy. So let's tear it. Let's do another 18 grams. Yep, exactly 18 grams of coffee. So same thing, let's do a slow feed. Alright, some of my viewers suggested I should slow feed my coffee. So let's just do it. Eighteen point zero. So my grinder has been well seasoned and usually has zero retention on this model, which is I'm very happy with this grinder actually. Right, so now let's move on to the making of the coffee itself. Right, I'm going to go with my usual CT62 first. Okay, let me heat up the ceramic. Do a good rinse. By the way, my temperature is still kept at 92 degrees Celsius. That seems to be the sweet spot for this coffee, and that actually removes the bitter aftertaste almost entirely. I would say 99%. Alright, let's pour in the coffee beans, coffee grounds, sorry. Right, 18 grams. Okay, water is at 90. Let's tare this. Level the coffee a little bit. Make sure my dripper is leveled. Okay, let's get started. Same thing. Right, 50 grams of water for the blooming. And let it bloom for about 40 seconds. Pretty much the same technique as I used from the previous previous 4 videos, so that it can be consistent. I hope that this doesn't bore you, because I tend not to cut my video too much. I would like to show you the exact what exactly I'm doing and what exactly is happening. I don't just show the results. This is my preferred way of making my videos. So all the way to 210 grams of water. Right, consistently the CT62, the total drawn down time is about 3.5 minutes to 3 minutes 40 seconds. So that should be the timing that we are looking for. all the way up to 300 grams of water. Okay, so let's monitor the drawn down time. Just past 3 minutes. I'm expecting this to be slightly faster than before. Right, so you can see completely drawn down is 3 minutes 20. So it is 10 to 20 seconds faster as before. Let me know in the comment section down below what do you think this is the cause, right? I know the reason for this is because of the way I feed the coffee beans. So let me know whether you are thinking on the same along the same side as me. Because I'm grinding slowly, it produces less fine, and then of course with less fine, the water, the ground is more consistent, so the water flows through with less resistance from the fine coffee powder. Hence, therefore, it drawn down faster. So that's my understanding, right? I do not have any tools to measure the spectrum of the grind size and things like that, but this is my my understanding. All right, let's remove this, and then we get ready for the second brew. Right, let's continue to prep the second one. So same thing, I'm going to heat up the origami. This is the plastic version. Right, let's make sure that the water is maintained at 90 degrees Celsius. And let's get started. Right, same thing. The method of pouring is the same. So at least I know the difference will come from the style of the dripper as well as the filter paper itself. 40 seconds of bloom for 50 grams of water. Let's continue to pour the second one. All the way up to 130 grams. Two hundred 10 grams. So today's video is going to be slightly longer. Trying my best not to disturb too much of the coffee bag. Okay, so let's see the total drawdown time. Is it roughly around the same? I think just now we hit around 3 minutes 20 seconds. This is taking slightly longer as compared to the V60 style, but the difference is not big. It's about 10 seconds to 15 seconds, I would say. Alright, so let's move on to the tasting part. Alright, let's taste the first one, which is the one that I'm very familiar with, the one we're using the V60 with the CT62 dripper. I mean the CT62 dripper with the V60 filter paper. Alright, so let's give it a try. Oh. It is the same as what I've made on the previous video. Very sweet, very juicy. When I say 99% removal of the bitterness, I can still taste a very subtle bitterness at the back. There's still a hint of it, but it is not something that I had it first time or the second time. Right, so now let's move on to try the one from the cupcake style, Kalita style cupcake filter paper. Oh, it's very different. Huh. Make a guess which one I like better. I like the one with the origami style Kalita paper better than the V60 paper. Somehow it is cleaner. It is brighter. It's very crisp. The notes, the tasting notes is very crisp. It has a much sharper tasting note as compared to the CT62. Yeah, I can't taste it in the CT62, right? So it's very interesting. Does it works for all the coffee? I'm not too sure, so I'm going to find out. So this is what I do because I have all this equipment lying there doing nothing. So it will be interesting for us to find out how all this equipment can vary the taste of the coffee. And in fact, by just changing the dripper style and the filter paper style, it changes the taste entirely. This is cleaner, the one with origami, and this is I would say this is 90%, this is maybe 80%. So the difference is the cleaner, how clean it is, how crisp is it, how sharp the notes is. Everything is sharper in the origami cup as compared to the CT62. Sweetness level, both are very similar, very identical. The hint of bitterness is still there. So I think at the end of the day, this is probably due to the roasting defect. I think there's a slight defect in the roasting. I suspect that the external is roasted slightly lighter, but internally there's a little bit of baking, hence a little bit, so I can taste the slight bitterness at the back there. Yeah, but the city, but the origami style paper definitely tastes better. Right, so I hope you find this interesting for yourself, and then stay tuned for more videos. I'll be doing more of these comparison, tasting notes, different drippers, different papers kind of thing. I hope this is interesting for you. So this is Z1 once again. Thanks for joining. I will see you in the next video.